The text came through at 10:47 p.m., right as I was brushing my teeth. My wife Val's phone lit up on the bathroom counter. She'd left it there while showering. I wouldn't normally look, but the preview made my hand freeze mid-brush. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. Bradley, can't wait to see you tonight. Use the side door like last time. I stared at those words until they blurred. 7 years of marriage, and here I was, reading a message that confirmed what my gut had been screaming for months. The late nights at work events, the sudden interest in yoga weekends with Kara, the way she'd pull away when I reached for her in bed, claiming exhaustion. I heard the shower shut off. Carefully, I set her phone back exactly where it had been, screen side down. When Val emerged in her towel, I was calmly rinsing my toothbrush. "Hey," she said, her voice oddly bright. "So I've been thinking about something." "Yeah?" I kept my tone neutral. She sat on the edge of our bed, tucking her wet hair behind her ears. "I think we should open up our marriage. See other people. I'm just not ready for this level of commitment anymore, Elliot. We can stay together, but have the freedom to explore." I turned to face her, studying the woman I'd promised forever to. She looked hopeful, almost excited, like she was proposing a fun vacation instead of detonating our marriage. "Perfect idea," I said, forcing a smile. The relief on her face made my stomach turn. "Really? I thought you'd freak out." "Why would I? If you need options, babe, you should have them." I walked over and kissed her forehead. "Let's both download some dating apps tomorrow. See what happens." She actually giggled. "You're amazing. You know that?" I try," I said, and went to bed while she blow-dried her hair, probably texting Bradley about how easy I'd been to manipulate. I didn't sleep. Instead, I stared at the ceiling and planned. Chapter 1. The Investigation. By morning, I'd created a profile on 3 dating apps. Former creative director, now running my own struggling ad agency. I knew how to sell a product, and I was about to market the hell out of myself. The photos I chose were strategic. Me at my college buddy Tony's wedding, looking sharp in a tuxedo. Me rock climbing last summer, showing I was fit and adventurous. Me with my nephew, proving I was good with kids. The bio was witty, self-deprecating, confident. Within an hour, I had 47 likes. Val, checking her phone at breakfast, had 12. "Wow, you're really doing this," she said, eyeing my screen. "You said we should explore. I'm exploring." I showed her a message from a lawyer named Jennifer who wanted to grab coffee. "What about you? Any interesting matches?" Her smile tightened. "A few?" What she didn't know was that I'd already started my real project. While she was at work, I'd used our shared laptop, the one she never logged out of, to access her Instagram. Not hacking, just looking at what was already open, her private account, the one she thought I didn't know about. The messages were damning. Months of flirtation with Bradley Cross, her boss at the luxury real estate firm. Photos from yoga retreats that were actually motel rooms. A group chat with her best friend Kara and some guy named Mick where they mocked me relentlessly. "Val." Elliot spent 20 minutes explaining craft beer to my coworkers. I wanted to die. Kara. "LOL. Why are you still with him?" Val. "Comfortable? He pays half the rent. Plus he's clueless." Bradley. "Not for long. Once you're ready, we'll make it official." I screenshot everything. Then I called Tony. "Dude, I need your help with something technical," I said when he answered. Tony worked IT at a hospital, and he owed me for covering his share of rent back in college when he was broke. "What's up?" "My wife's cheating. I need to document everything before she realizes I know." There was a pause. "Jesus, Elliot. I'm sorry. What do you need?" "A way to back up all her messages, photos, everything. And I need to know where she's been going." "I can help with the digital stuff. The location thing. Does she have an iPhone?" "Yeah." "If you are on a family plan, you can check her location history through the account. It's all legal. You're both on the same plan." Within an hour, Tony had walked me through creating a complete backup of Val's data. The location history was a goldmine. Repeated visits to the Riverside Motel, a seedy place off Route 9. Lunch meetings at expensive restaurants when she told me she was eating at her desk. And multiple visits to Bradley's address. A fancy condo downtown that I'd never been invited to. But I needed more. I needed witnesses, ammunition, leverage. That evening, I went to the Gallows Tap, a dive bar near Val's yoga studio. Sure enough, Kara was there, perched at the bar with a glass of white wine, scrolling through her phone. "Kara, hey," I said, sliding onto the stool next to her. "Fancy seeing you here." She looked startled. "Elliot? What are you doing here?" Just needed a drink. Val's working late again. I ordered a whiskey, neat. You know how it is? She relaxed slightly. Yeah, she's been so busy lately. I let the silence stretch, then said casually, She told me about Bradley. Kara's eyes widened. She did? About how great he is as a boss. Really supportive, apparently. Takes her on all these work trips. I watched her face carefully. You've met him, right? Oh, yeah, a few times. She took a large gulp of wine. He's nice. Val says you've covered for her a few times, when she needed to work weekends. I kept my voice friendly, curious. That's really good of you. The alcohol was loosening her tongue. Well, you know, Val, she works so hard. Sometimes she just needs a break, like those yoga retreats we go on. Right, the yoga retreats. I smiled. How often do you two do those? Oh, I don't actually go. I just tell people she's with me if they ask. It's easier that way. Easier for what? She froze, realizing what she'd said. Nothing, just, girl time. I had my phone in my jacket pocket, recording everything. It's cool, Kara. Val told me she's been seeing Bradley. We're opening up our marriage. Very modern. The relief on her face was palpable. Oh, thank God. I thought I just screwed everything up. Yeah, they've been together for like 6 months. I thought you were going to be devastated. Nah, I'm actually dating too now. It's all good. We chatted for another 20 minutes. She told me about the motel visits, how Mick from Bradley's office helped them coordinate schedules, how Val had been planning to ask for a divorce once Bradley left his wife. Then Val walked in. She saw me with Kara, and her face went white. What are you doing here? I raised my glass. Having a drink with your friend, talking about yoga retreats and new beginnings. I met her eyes. 2 options, right? The next morning, I tracked Bradley's Porsche to his office parking garage. I'd seen it before, a classic 911, silver, his pride and joy. He'd posted about it constantly on LinkedIn. I waited until the garage was empty, then approached with my bag of supplies. Sugar in the gas tank was a myth, but loosening his valve stems wasn't. Neither was using my keys to scratch "Not Your Wife" along the driver's side door. I left a note under his wiper. Hope the ride was worth it. I was walking back to my car when I heard footsteps. Hey, what the hell are you doing to my car? Bradley Cross was exactly what I'd expected. Tall, fit, expensive suit. The kind of smug face that had never been punched. He was striding toward me, phone already out. Just leaving you a message, I said calmly. You're Val's husband. He stopped a few feet away, clearly trying to decide if I was dangerous. She told me about you. I bet she did. Did she tell you I know everything? His expression flickered. I don't know what you think you know. 6 months, the Riverside Motel, your condo, those work trips to Boston that were actually weekends in bed. I stepped closer. I know about your wife, too. Does she know about Val? You need to leave, now. But his voice shook. Or what? You'll call security? Go ahead. I'd love to explain to your boss why I'm here. I pulled out my phone, showing him a screenshot of his text to Val. I've got months of evidence. Messages, photos. Hotel receipts I pulled from our joint credit card. Want me to send it all to your wife? To HR? What do you want? The smugness was gone now. I want you to understand something. I moved closer, and he actually stepped back. You thought you were playing with someone's clueless husband, someone you could mock in group chats, someone who'd never figure it out. Look, we can work something out. I slapped him. Not hard enough to injure, but hard enough to shock. His hand flew to his cheek, eyes wide. That's for 7 years of my life you helped destroy, I said quietly. Now here's what's going to happen. You're going to back away from Val. You're going to tell her it's over, and if you don't, every person in your life will know exactly what you've been doing. You can't. I already have it queued up. 1 click and your wife gets an email. Another click and HR gets a detailed complaint about a boss sleeping with his subordinate. Want to test me? He was breathing hard, face red. You're insane. No, I'm done being the nice guy. I walked past him toward my car. Oh, and you might want to call a tow truck. Your car's not going anywhere. That afternoon, I executed Phase 2. Using a burner account, I sent anonymous messages to Val's entire social circle. Not accusations, just questions. Saw Val with her boss at the Riverside Motel. Is she okay? Should someone check on her marriage? The gossip spread like wildfire. By evening, Val's phone was exploding with concerned messages from friends, colleagues, distant relatives. Her carefully constructed image was cracking. She came home in tears. Someone's spreading rumors about me, saying I'm having an affair. That's terrible, I said, not looking up from my laptop. Are you? What? No. How can you even ask that? I finally met her eyes. I don't know, Val. How can you ask me to open our marriage while you've been sleeping with your boss for 6 months? The color drained from her face. I don't... Bradley Cross, Riverside Motel, room 214, the condo at 47 Riverside Drive. Should I keep going? She collapsed onto the couch. How long have you known? Long enough, and now everyone else is starting to figure it out too. I showed her my dating profile, which had over 200 matches now. You wanted options. I'm swimming in them. How about you? This isn't fair. Fair? You've been lying to me for half a year. You made me look like an idiot to your friends. You planned to divorce me once Bradley left his wife. I leaned forward. Did you really think I'd never find out? I was going to tell you. You told me you wanted an open marriage. That's not honesty, Val. That's asking permission after the fact. She was crying now, mascara running. What are you going to do? What do you think? I stood up. I'm going to make sure everyone knows exactly who you are. The following week, Val's company held their annual gala, a big networking event for real estate agents, brokers, and investors. Val had been planning her outfit for months. She'd wanted to impress Bradley, I realize now. I wasn't invited, but that didn't stop me. I showed up in my best suit, walked right past the registration desk with a confident smile and a fake name tag I'd printed at home. The venue was a renovated warehouse with exposed brick and modern lighting. Val was near the bar, laughing with colleagues, Bradley at her side. They were being careful not to touch, but the body language was obvious. I waited until they slipped away toward the rooftop parking area, probably for a private moment, then followed with my phone out, live streaming to a private Instagram account I'd created specifically for this purpose. An account I'd sent the link to everyone in Val's contact list an hour earlier. They were kissing against Bradley's rental car when I cleared my throat. Don't stop on my account, I said cheerfully. The audience is loving it. Val spun around, saw my phone, and went pale. Are you streaming this? To about 300 people, yeah, including your mom. Hi, Mrs. Patterson. I waved at the camera. Bradley lunged for my phone, but I stepped back. Assault on camera? Really? Your lawyer's going to love that. Turn it off, Val was screaming now, which only made it better. People were starting to emerge from the stairwell, drawn by the commotion. Among them was a woman I recognized from Bradley's Facebook. His wife, Claire. She'd been invited to the gala as a potential client. Bradley, she said, staring at him and Val, what's going on? I helpfully turned my phone toward her. Your husband's been sleeping with his employee for 6 months. I've got proof if you need it. The next few minutes were chaos, Claire screaming at Bradley, Val trying to explain, a crowd gathering, someone from HR pushing through, demanding to know what was happening. I slipped away in the confusion, ending the live stream only after I'd captured Val's face as she realized her career was over. The next morning, Val was fired. Bradley was placed on administrative leave pending an investigation, and I filed for divorce, citing adultery, with a folder of evidence that made my lawyer whistle. This is airtight, she said. She's not getting anything. But Val wasn't done. 2 days later, she filed a restraining order against me, claiming I'd been stalking and threatening her. She told police I was dangerous, unstable, that she feared for her safety. The hearing was scheduled for the following week. I wasn't worried. Tony had helped me compile everything. The recording of Kara admitting Val had been cheating, the screenshots of Val's messages mocking me, the location data showing she'd been lying about her whereabouts for months, the credit card receipts for motel rooms. Most importantly, I had security footage from the gallows tap showing my conversation with Kara, proving I hadn't threatened anyone, just had a conversation. And I had footage from the parking garage showing Bradley trying to grab my phone, not the other way around. But Val had one more play. She convinced Bradley and Kara to back her story, claiming I'd threatened all of them. They were going to testify that I'd been stalking Val, that I'd sabotaged Bradley's car, that I was obsessed and dangerous. They wanted to destroy me before I could destroy them. The night before the hearing, I got a text from an unknown number. Railway yard, midnight. Come alone or we go to the police with evidence you've been threatening us. It was obviously a setup. But I had a setup of my own. I called Tony and Ricky, the bartender from the gallows tap who'd become an unexpected ally. I need backup, I said, and cameras. Say no more, Tony replied. At 11:45 p.m., I arrived at the abandoned railway yard on the edge of town. It was exactly the kind of place where bad things happened in movies. Rusted tracks, graffitied buildings, shadows everywhere. Val, Bradley, and Kara were waiting near an old freight car. Bradley had a baseball bat. Really, I called out. A bat? What's the plan here? The plan is you drop this whole thing, Bradley said. The divorce, the evidence, everything, or things get ugly. They're already ugly. I held up my phone. And we're live again. Say hi to the internet. Val's face twisted. You're bluffing. Am I? I turned the phone so they could see the view count climbing. Try me. That's when Tony and Ricky stepped out from behind a nearby building, their own phones out. Multiple angles, Tony said cheerfully. This is going to get so many views. Bradley's grip on the bat tightened. You think you're smart. I think I'm done being the victim, I interrupted. You three tried to ruin my life. You lied, cheated, mocked me, and then tried to frame me as some kind of stalker. But here's the thing. I documented everything. Every lie, every threat, every attempt to manipulate the situation. The police will believe us, Kara said, but her voice shook. Will they? Because I've got recordings of you admitting Val was cheating. I've got messages proving Bradley knew I was married. I've got security footage showing he tried to assault me. And now I've got video of you three luring me to an abandoned railway yard with a weapon. I smiled. Who's the jury going to believe? Val stepped forward, desperation in her eyes. Elliot, please. We can work this out. I made mistakes, but we can fix this. No, I said simply. We can't. You made your choice 6 months ago. You chose to lie, to cheat, to humiliate me. And when I found out, instead of apologizing, you tried to destroy me. I looked at each of them. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to drop the restraining order. You're going to admit you lied, and you're going to leave me alone. Or what? Bradley demanded. Or I send everything to everyone. Your wife, Claire, gets the full story. Your boss gets evidence of sexual harassment. Val's family gets to see who she really is. And all of this, I gestured at the railway yard, goes viral. Your faces, your names, your threats. How do you think that plays out for you? The silence stretched. Then Kara started crying. I just wanted to help my friend. You helped her destroy her marriage and frame an innocent person. That's not friendship. That's complicity. Bradley dropped the bat. Fine. We'll drop it. Just delete everything. I'll delete the live stream, I said. But I'm keeping the evidence. Insurance policy. If any of you come after me again, it all goes public. Understand? They nodded, defeated. I turned and walked away, Tony and Ricky flanking me. Behind us, I heard Val sobbing, Bradley cursing, Kara trying to comfort them both. The restraining order was dropped the next day. The divorce proceeded without contest. Val moved out of our townhouse, back to her parents' place. Bradley's wife filed for divorce, and he was quietly let go from his job. Kara's yoga studio lost half its clients when word spread about her role in the affair. As for me, I rebuilt. My dating profile led to actual dates, actual connections. My ad agency got a new client after someone saw my story online and admired how I'd handled it. I moved to a new apartment, made new friends, started fresh. 6 months later, I ran into Val at a coffee shop. She looked tired, older. She was working as a receptionist at a dental office, her real estate career over. Elliot, she said quietly, can we talk? There's nothing to say. I'm sorry. I was selfish and cruel. I destroyed everything. I looked at her, this woman I'd once loved, and felt nothing. You said you weren't ready for marriage. Turns out you weren't ready for the consequences either. I know. I wanted you to know I regret it. All of it. Good, I said. I hope you do. I walked out, leaving her standing there with her regrets. She'd wanted options, freedom, the excitement of something new. Instead, she got exactly what she deserved. Nothing but the memory of how she'd gambled everything away and lost. The end. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next story. Write in the comments from which city you are watching.